Last week, I listened to a podcast which interviewed a doctor from northern Italy, which at that time was the epicenter of the Covid-19 pandemic. He said, "We are overwhelmed. All of us work 16 to 18 hours a day. Every one of us, doctors and nurses, we cry every day." It was heartbreaking to hear his voice, to understand the tragedy from the front lines, to see that much suffering unfolding right now. The question is, why is there suffering in this world? Why does God allow suffering to happen? This question has been asked by people for thousands of years. It is a question grappled by philosophers and theologians. It is a question that many people ask these days. The short answer is that God does not micromanage our world or our lives. In the grand design of life, the laws of the universe ultimately prevail, meaning that if I fall off of a building, then gravity always wins. Otherwise, who needs to take an elevator? Viruses are also a part of the natural world, and they fulfill some function even if we don't quite understand what that is. Suffering is also a part of our world, even though it is very hard to truly accept them, especially now. In our faith, we believe that God in Jesus Christ entered into this world of suffering. He entered into the world of first century Palestine, where there were so much filth, poor hygiene, and bad medicine. Scholars tell us that back then, a case of flu or bad cold or an abscessed tooth could actually kill someone. Jesus had entered into that kind of world. In his ministry, he responded to those who are suffering from illnesses and disease with compassion and healing. A major component of his ministry involved healing. Because of his reputation as a healer, Jesus was approached by his friends, Martha and Mary, who pleaded for help because their brother Lazarus was sick. By the time Jesus got to see Lazarus, he had already died. In seeing his dead friend, Jesus wept. Jesus wept for the loss of his friend, wept for Martha and Mary, wept because he was not around to save him. Jesus weeps for us still. Jesus is weeping for all the patients, doctors, nurses, and families who are crying right now. Jesus is also with us in this anxious, uncomfortable, and painstakingly monotonous life we have right now. Yet, I have hope. I have hope because Jesus raised Lazarus from death. I have hope because I believe in the God of new life who has raised Jesus from the dead. I have hope because brilliant scientists all over the world are working hard at finding the vaccine. God of love and life, I believe, is working with these scientists. I have hope because we will recover from this ordeal, that life will go on once again, that we can be together with one another again, to be able to freely shake each other's hands and give one another tender, caring hugs. Thanks be to God.